copy of what our current member list looks like for the association, and also an email, a copy of the email that I had sent in August, kind of discussing and summarizing some of the stuff that I'll talk about tonight. As many of you know, I have served only a short time as both a board member and a president of the Allen Parish Fair Association. During that time, I've observed several issues that have caused me serious concern regarding financial accountability, board operations, and overall transparency. This has been my first experience serving on a board, and while I was unfamiliar with some of the exact legalities at the start, I do understand how an organization should operate with structure, accountability, and integrity. From the beginning, certain practices within this board did not align with that standard. When I was asked to serve as president, I expressed my hesitation and my concerns. I was assured by the board that they too shared those concerns and supported change. However, as I began asking questions and seeking clarity on how funds were being handled and how the board functioned, my efforts were met with resistance and discomfort. I know enough to understand that in a nonprofit organization, no board member should receive personal or financial gain from their role. Yet several issues have come to my attention. Multiple members of their family members rent vendor or nonprofit booth spaces, resulting in financial gain, which presents a conflict of interest. Several members are related or closely connected, and most are from the same small area, which limits fair representation of the entire Allen Parish community. There is no financial software, no treasurer, and no formal system of accountability to track income and expenses. Pageant funds are deposited and withdrawn without board votes or documentation. No audits have been conducted. The bylaws date back to 1940 and no original copy has been presented. Checks are not consistently signed by two authorized individuals. There are no term limits with one individual serving over 20 years. There is no insurance on the fairgrounds. Some members have promoted causes publicly, opposing potential sponsors, then privately encouraged me to accept funds from those sponsors without a recorded vote. Attendance is low, and meetings frequently lack quorum, preventing proper voting or decision-making. This is merely a snapshot of what I've discovered. I believe these conditions have gone unchallenged for years simply because no one has questioned them. When I did, I received contradicting answers and little cooperation. I reached out to Mr. Tony Hebert, president of the police jury, since the jury is our administration, to seek guidance and solutions. I received no follow-up after my initial contact. I, along with board member Walter Brown, then met with District Attorney Joe Green to share our concerns. I have made every effort to move this organization forward with honesty and good faith, to plan a fair that the children of our community can actively participate in and enjoy. I proposed new bylaws, requested that an audit be carried out, and recommended implementing a financial tracking system and appointing a treasurer. Each of these suggestions was disregarded. Due to poor attendance, the board has been unable to conduct business, and essential votes on insurance, entertainment, and other fair operations have been delayed. Members who volunteered to oversee major tasks such as livestock show, planning, fair booklet updates, 4-H exhibits, and vendors I'll resign, through a text message, without completing them, leaving significant gaps in planning and execution. I have refused to sign contracts for entertainment, the carnival, and sponsorships because the board lacks financial clarity, accountability, and proper voting authority. One example that I feel must be stated clearly. The board's majority wanted to accept sponsorship funds from Exxon without an official vote, despite some members publicly opposing the company. This is not transparent or ethical. I refuse to sign because I will not approve any agreement that lacks proper authorization or that compromises the integrity of this association or myself. The time frame for that sponsorship opportunity expired 2 weeks ago. So no, I did not accept any funds from Exxon. When I questioned the facts of members rallying against the sponsor, I was told that what happens on their personal time is none of my business. I think this behavior is grounds for removal as a member, but my hands are tied with no bylaws to review. At this point, with unresolved conflicts of interest, lack of financial oversight, and continued inaction from the board, I believe the Allen Parish Fair Association cannot conduct legitimate business under its current conditions. And the protection of the community, I cannot effectively do my job as a president. It has been my intention from the beginning to help this organization become transparent, community-centered, and sustainable for the future. Unfortunately, without cooperation and accountability and a dedicated board, that cannot be accomplished. The short amount of time that I've been out in the community, I have discovered that there are many people who support my efforts and share my vision for a fair that truly represents all of Allen Parish. But that support is not from the Allen Parish Fair Association Board of Directors. These members also hold seats to other boards in this community. With the time available, it is impossible for anyone to plan and execute the task needed to have a 2025 Allen Parish Fair with a rodeo and a livestock show. I can offer suggestions on how I would handle the current situation, but ultimately, because the police jury is our authority, I currently do not have a forum available to vote. The decision to continue or not to continue should come from you. My only option is to resign, which I'm prepared to do. Or what would you like me to do?
Do we have authority over there?
Fair Association is a nonprofit.
Let's have a response from.
Let's have a response from some board members here.
Come on.
We have some board members here, we have our secretary treasurer here, and a lot of this stuff we're hearing is for the first time. We thought we was already on the end for the fair and rodeo. Matter of fact, I contacted that Cajun Rodeo Association today, but the word got back to me that Michelle said only she was supposed to talk to those folks, but me and Rachel Martinez is the one that started putting all this together. We're being backstabbed here, folks. What all is being said here is not correct. We got people that work hard for this rodeo and for this fair. I started 3 or 4 years ago. I told you I'd bring that arena back, get that arena in shape. That arena got in shape. I told you the next year that arena would be painted. Me and my wife and some of the FFA boys over here at Ag. 6 weeks I worked on that arena, painting in that heat. I took my equipment, my mowers, my money, my gas, and made that place look like a golf course. Don't tell me you're not getting support from board members. This is a stab in the back right here. We had a board meeting tonight, that we were supposed to have a board meeting to take care of this. You the one that canceled the board meeting. If you want to resign, that's more than fine. We have our bylaws, we voted on them, we can make you be replaced. But like you said, we've done that now. Okay, we can't do anything now, but I told her, if we do anything now, she's the one that's supposed to already have the contract done for the fair. She's the one that's supposed to already have the contract done for the rodeo.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
What's your name, sir?
Lawrence Raspberry.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying. So rolling.
I'm saying about that main fence. We worked out there with you. Remember?
We worked hard out there, and I appreciate it. People told me they think. But for this to come up now, she ain't brought any of this stuff to the board. She ain't said a thing about this board. And the person she wants to get rid of is right here. Because she stands up to her and says she can't do something. She's not following the rules.
She wants to have, she has told us on numerous occasions, at numerous times at the meeting, she do not have to have the board approval for nothing. She say, this year things are gonna be different. I don't need y'all approval, I'll do what I wanna do because I'm the president. I say, that's not the way Robert Rules of Order works. You have to have a board approval. That's what you have a board for. And I told her at the last meeting, I say, when she throw that in our face again, I say, you can be voted out. She said, well, I'm gonna bring it to the board, I'm gonna bring it to the board. I said, that's not what you told us. And I wanna say something. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Aquila Victoria. I've been on this fair board for 23 years. You know why? Because it's hard to get people to volunteer nowadays. You can't get people to volunteer. Tony Abear asked me 23 years ago, would I go to a fair board meeting because they were looking for a director because the girls was being mistreated. I took that position as a director and I ran it because my passion is with children, okay? And I don't think I've done a bad job. I was also a member of the Louisiana Association of Fairs and Festivals for 8 years. I was a president in 2009. But I dedicated many years to the Allen Parish Fair Board, and I have receipts and financial reports for every year I was a director, and I made money.
Amen.
Tony can tell you, I'm the first director that ever made money for the Allen Parish Fair Association. And guess what? I didn't take a penny from the Fair Board to run my pageant, and I made money every year. And I know one person in this building donated when I needed it. But other than that, I did it. And I'm not bragging. I'm not one to brag. I like to be the worker, be behind. But when you have somebody sit in a board meeting and tell you she don't need a vote from y'all, I do what I want to do. We have a secretary that was voted, secretary of treasurer that was voted in before she came on. And she tried to get rid of her 3 times. After this girl come, she was here before she came. When she come in, she got
Because we're not financially capable of supporting $500 a month for a
Can I finish
secretary.
talking?
You had your turn.
Let me finish. We had a secretary paying that same money when we didn't have the money. But she still got paid. And she tried 3 times to get her voted out, when the board told her she was gonna stay there with her salary. You don't do that. She said, well, I don't want her as a treasurer. I want somebody my own self that I can work with. You cannot do that. She got rid of people on the board that was there before she came in. She just automatically voted them out. Let me say one other thing.
Y'all hold up. Look, police board has nothing to do with
Thank you.
that.
Thank you.
Zero to do with this.
That's what I want to say, because we signed a contract with I think in 2001, and it renewed in 2006. Y'all leased the fairground to the fair board.
That's
We
what
shouldn't
I'm
even be over
No,
here.
you didn't.
There's
You
no
shouldn't be
reason.
here.
It is a lease.
We should be there taking care of our business tonight.
Can I please have a second?
Look, I'd rather this just,
Well-
this needs to end.
Just
And
because,
in her defense, I asked her to speak because she spoke to me about it
Okay.
today, and that's why she's up here.
okay, but I am the secretary treasurer for the Allen Parish Fair Association. They asked me to do this. Several people asked me. The last president did. before we did. When I came on and accepted this position, I did not know there was any staff. I was doing it because I volunteered in my community. I am on other boards also, for free. I give my time for that. I did not know there was a staff. But I was happy there was, because who doesn't need some extra money? She was not at the meeting when I came on. She was not at the
Okay,
other secretary.
that's it. That's
Okay,
it. No more.
this is just a bunch of lies.
I'm sorry.